Hi YouTube, it's Abby and I'm coming back at you with a new video today. So today I'm going to be showing you some hairstyles that I do when I am just in a hurry, or not even when I'm in a hurry, just like when I'm going to school, or if I want my hair to look a little bit more decent. I'm also going to show you like what kind of products I use to wash my hair, what products I use if my hair's a little bit greasy like it is right now, or if I'm running on like second day hair, all my tips and tricks. So to start off, I am also in cosmetology school. My mom is also a cosmetologist, so some of the things I use is like from like those stores that like we can go into, but some things are totally just like from Walmart or something. So yeah, start off, I'm gonna show you since I have blonde hair, which is kind of fading and looking not the greatest right now. I used this the other day, and it is just the Joico Blonde Life. So it helps tone and brighten my blondes in my hair. It really brightened it up here where my roots were, because those are really faded. And it works for up to 8 weeks is what it tells me. But on the daily, or at least 3 times a week, I use my purple shampoo. Now if my hair was more blonde, I'd be a little bit more concerned with using this 3 times a week. So if you have really blonde hair, probably do this like once or twice a week, because your hair will end up turning purple. And I have some really blonde pieces in the back, and I've noticed that sometimes they'll pick up the purple. But this is just the TG toning shampoo, and it's the violet one. For second day hair or third day hair, however long I'm going or whatever, I like to use the Bedhead TG OB Hive dry shampoo. I like it. It's not bad. There was a Dove one I used one time. That one was really good too. My hairbrush. It's a simple hairbrush. Probably should clean it out. I like the bigger pronged area because my hair is pretty thick. I keep brushing my hair a lot when I get out of the shower. I have to use a comb. That's another trick. Use a comb when your hair's wet, not a brush. Now if I'm going to put heat on my hair, I also have my heat protectant that I didn't bring in here, but it's also TG. It's just their little, I have a little miniature one of their heat protectant that I like. I use this wand that, I think my friend left it here and I took over it. If you want this back, you can have it back. Well, I use this and it's wide to thin. I also have one that's thick, about this thick all around, and I like that one. That one's for like my waves. I also use my straightener. It's just I think it's GVP. I like it. It works really well on my thick hair. And I use this as a straightener and a curling iron. To start off, I'm just going to take 2 hair ties, and I'm going to just show you my 2 braids that I do quite often when I'm going to practice, or if I want my hair to my face for that day, or if my hair is getting a little extra greasy. It's nice to have braids in it. I don't like washing my hair every day when I get in the shower, because that's bad for your hair. Yeah, we're not going to look at my line there. Okay, I'm going to put this side, yeah, look at this poof, this side back, just to get it out of my way, and I don't like my hair on my face at all. I am going to do mine down the side. You can do them straight back. I'm also doing a Dutch braid because I do Dutch braids. I like French braids. There's nothing wrong with them. I personally like Dutch braids better on myself. So let's get into it. I'm just going to take a section. I'm kind of going at an angle. I'm not going straight down. You can pull it back that way and see that's at the angle. And then I'm going to part it into 3. And then I'm going to take the outsides and always go under the middle. And every time you bring a part in, you always go under. That's just the difference between a French braid and a Dutch braid. Then I'm going to start adding hair. I like to add hair early, so I just take a little amount and I gain more hair as I go. Mostly that's because that's how my hair is. I have more hair in the back. And I'm just going to keep adding hair as I go down, and I like to stay relevantly close to my scalp so that once I start moving it, it stays tight and there's not little bubbles in my hair, and it looks good. Sorry, my mirror's right here, so if I keep looking that way, that's why. I'm just gonna keep braiding. there is my braid. And a lot of the times I will just go through and make it a little bit looser because I like the look of a loose, like, chunkier braid. And sometimes my little pieces come out right there, and I just usually take a bobby pin and just pin those right back in. But I like the look of a chunky braid, and sometimes I just stop it right here and I'll put it in a space bun, or even just keep braiding all the way down, or just put it in a pigtail. But I'm going to braid the other side really fast. Just my other side, and that's just usually how I wear these braids. I wear them quite often, actually. I haven't been wearing them a lot this recently because I've been lazy on braiding my hair. But these are my Dutch braids. I love them. So on to the next style. The next style is still Dutch braids. It's just a little bit different because it's not all of my hair. I just take that little section like I did the last time, and I start Dutch braiding, going under, go under, pull this over, go under, pull that over, go under, pull over, and then I'm going to start adding hair again, just very little, because like I said, I'm not going to add all my hair. Then I'm going to add some hair from this side, add some hair from this side. It's a lot of hair, I want all that hair. And we're going to add some more from this side. I eventually stopped adding from one side and add just from one side, the top of it. But I think I'm just going to add from the top now, so I'm not adding underneath. I'm going to leave that hair down. And then I'll just, okay. Now I'm going to stop adding hair altogether and just braid down. And this just goes into like a normal braid, but going under still. So I just take the outsides and bring it under and pull that middle over top. Then I take the outside, go under, pull that over. Really not hard. If you can get a French braid down, you can definitely get a Dutch braid down. So I usually take a little elastic when I do this and put them in, put it in the bottom of my hair. And I don't like making it super tight because these little bands can actually break your hair. And then I pull out from each side and just make it kind of chunky, like a loose braid. And when I get to the top, I like to just pull it out a little bit because I don't want to mess up my hair that's inside and make it all have bumps. And if it does have a bump when you do it, it's okay, it's easy fix. Just go ahead and stick that bobby pin in. And then there's that. And then I'll just do it to the other side. And there's my other side. And so honestly, sometimes I'll take these both and pull them back like that. And if it has that little bump, sometimes mine does because it just doesn't, the way I braided it down. Just put a bobby pin in there, but it'll have a braid on each side and do like a crown. Sometimes I'll just leave them down and straighten my hair around it, and sometimes I'll put curls in it with my wand or my straightener. But yeah, that's hairstyle too. Okay, so I am going to show you the difference between using my wand and using my straightener for curls. What the heck? I'm going to curl this side with my wand and this side with my straightener. So usually I'd be putting my heat protectant on right now, and I'm kind of sad I'm not because I don't want to damage my already partly damaged hair. But okay, to start off, mine goes up to 400 degrees. Now, when you think about it, you need to think that that's like a lot of heat on your hair. I only put mine at 330. I could even probably go 310. That's the lowest, so I like to stay middle on everything, because a lot of heat can, sometimes if you have too much heat, it can make it not curl. Sometimes if you don't have enough heat, then it can also make it not curl. So if 330 is too high or too low for your hair, you'll be able to tell. If your hair is clearly not doing what you want it to, probably not a good sign. But I'm just going to take a big chunk here. You can do smaller ones. I know my teachers in cosmetology tell me that you take the size of hair as the size of your tool. I follow that to certain extents because I like bigger curls. So I'm going to take a bigger piece and I'm just going to start by wrapping it at the top and wrapping it all the way down. And I leave some of the ends off just because I don't like my ends curled, and sometimes I do. Really just depends on what mood I'm in. I'm going to hold that there for a good second, and I'm going to hold my curl while it kind of cools, and then I'm going to pull it down and kind of go through it with my hands. That was not a good curl. Oh, there it goes. And then sometimes you're going to have to go over it with the ends again because it doesn't like to pick up. And so I'll just go over the ends. And yeah. And I'll run my hands through it. And I like to wait for it to cool for a minute just before I run my hands through it. And then I'll run a comb through it in the end. I'm going to take this piece. Curling it like I was. Sometimes I'll roll it in a little bit more and then scrunch it up, let it cool, and drop it down. As you saw, I went this way with my wand curling it, and when you take your fingers and run through it, your curls, you can either separate them like that, or I personally like bigger, chunkier curls, so I like putting mine together and making them all go that way. And sometimes I will do two this way, two that way, two this way, two that way, and go every other arm. And sometimes I'll take this whole side of my head and go back, and this whole side of my head and go back. It really doesn't matter. If you want the more messier curl look, I would do the two that way, two this way. If you want nicer looking curls that look uniformed and presentable, if you're going somewhere super, super fancy, I guess, then you can curl them all one way. It doesn't really matter. They look almost the same. Just one gives it a little more edgier fill. So I'm gonna go back through my whole head on this side of the head and use my curling iron or my wand. Alrighty, so now that I got them done, I would usually be taking my comb. I cannot find it for whatever reason, so I'm just gonna run my fingers through it. A lot of people usually some people just leave their curls. I like mine to look a little bit more messy and more wavy looking, so I run my hands through it. And sometimes I'll put them back together and make bigger curls. It really just depends on the mood and the look that I'm going for. But that's how I do my wand curls. Okay, so now with my straightener, it goes up to 450 degrees. I have it on like 325-ish, right in the middle of there. A lot of people love these curls. I know there's a girl that is in my cosmetology class, and I do straightener curls on her whenever they say we can work on partners because she loves them and we love the look of them. For me, it's a little bit harder for them to stay in my hair. This will probably, my wand curls will probably stay in my hair until I wash it out. My straightener curls, as soon as I lay down, they're gonna fall, and sometimes they'll even fall through the day. Just depends on your consistency through your hair or the density of your hair, just what kind of type of hair you have. It holds some of them better, and it holds some hair it just doesn't want to hold at all. So to start off, I'm going to take a section right here. Sorry, my mom's talking in the background. So I'm going to take this section, and I'm just going to kind of clamp down lightly, and I'm going to flip it back. And sometimes you can do it once. I like to do mine a couple different times on turning because I like the more curled spirally, or the spiral curls, so that when I brush them out they kind of bounce. But there's that one. Do it again. And it doesn't matter the sections you take. You can take it from up here and do like higher curls. Just depends on what the kind of look you're going for. I like to keep my curls lower, so I kind of pull downwards more, but if I wanted them more to the middle, I'd pull straight out, and I'd pull more up if I wanted them higher. And there's those two curls, and a lot of times I'll run my fingers through them, kind of play with them, make them more not as uniformed. Alrighty, and there's those, and a lot of the time I will run my fingers through it, and then I will spray my level 18 Kenra hairspray. I like Kenra stuff personally a lot. That's just me. I also like TG, and I like Bedhead. There's some really good products out there that you can try. See, I'll just wrap them up, and they move so easy. Both curls do. I personally know if I'm gonna go a long day and I've got a lot of activities I'm doing, or I'm gonna be on the move a lot, I'm gonna go with my wand curls. I know that if I'm just gonna go somewhere nice and with my family, I might do straightener curls. Just depends on what you're looking for. You can clearly see the difference between them. But yeah, so for another hairstyle, I'm just gonna show you real quick, is I will take my curls, and usually I do it before. I just take apart some of them, and I pull it up. I like my ponytail's relevantly high. I'm gonna brush this part of it. I don't want to brush my curls. You can honestly brush your curls if you have a bigger hairbrush. If you have a tighter hairbrush that's kind of smaller and the bristles are tight closely together, it might pull your curls out. So you may want to be careful with that. Sometimes I'm pull a little extra up. And then I personally like scrunchies to finish my hair look, my looks on my hair, and they are less damaging on your hair actually. But yeah, I will go and take that, and I'll just kind of spread it out, and then I'll pull my other curls forward, kind of reform them if I have to, but a lot of the time they look just fine. And then you have your hair up. Is another hairstyle. You can pull some pieces out, you can make it looser, you can give it volume up in here, this area. It's really up to you. These are all hairstyles that you can kind of play with, make them however you want. I personally feel like a Bratz doll with my hair like this, but I do this one pretty frequently, especially since I'm a person that doesn't really like my hair in my face, but I do like curls. So if you have any other questions, you can comment down below. I hope you like my video, and peace out, world.